Hello, welcome to the Dr. iCoach tutorial. Here, we will guide you through a few easy steps to start using Dr. iCoach. Before we get into the program, let's make sure the device is positioned correctly. Please plug the USB cable into a USB port on your computer, and then position the Dr. iCoach on top of your screen or monitor. Use the legs to attach it to the screen, and plug the other end of the USB into the device. First, please angle the Dr. iCoach device so that it is pointed towards your face to ensure optimal performance. When the device is on and the Dr. iCoach software is running, you will see a red light at the top left corner of the Dr. iCoach device. The camera won't turn on unless in use by Dr. iCoach. Let's start out by activating your Dr. iCoach account. Double-click the icon on your desktop, and when this window comes up, enter the username and password for your Eyes for Lives account. Then click Submit. The software will sync with our server to download any data that you might have. To start Dr. iCoach, double-click the icon on your desktop. After that, a Dr. iCoach icon should appear in your taskbar at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. You may need to click the Show Hidden Icons arrow to find the Dr. iCoach icon. Now that your account is active, let's take a look at the home page or Statistics dashboard. This will show previews of the data from the four main functions of Dr. iCoach. To bring up the Dr. iCoach window, double-click the Dr. iCoach icon in your taskbar. You may have to click the Show Hidden Icons arrow, which is this button right here, for the Dr. iCoach icon to be visible. Blink rate is the first feature. It shows how often the user is blinking while using the computer. Time on computer is the amount of time the program detects user activity. Distance monitor displays the amount of time the user violates the minimum recommended distance, which can be changed in the settings. Posture violation displays the amount of time the user sits at an incorrect height. Another important feature of Dr. iCoach is the warnings, which are designed to make the user more aware of improper computer habits. Warnings will stay in the corner of your screen until the behavior is corrected or the warning is closed by the user. Even while minimized, Dr. iCoach will monitor your blinks and display a warning if your blink rate falls under 10 per minute. If you lean too close to the screen, Dr. iCoach will display a distance warning. You can change the settings for the distance at which Dr. iCoach will give you a warning in the Settings tab of the main menu, which will be discussed later on in this tutorial. If you sit too high or too low in your chair, Dr. iCoach will warn you with a sitting height too low or sitting height too high alert. Sometimes, Dr. iCoach will have trouble reading your blinks in certain lighting conditions, most often if there is a lot of glare or shadow on your face. In this case, an environmental lighting warning will pop up, as shown here. If you have the 20-20-20 rule setting turned on, Dr. iCoach will display a warning reminding you to take a break once every 20 minutes. You can turn off this setting from the Settings tab in the main menu. Warnings will also appear if your sensor is disconnected from the computer, if the tilt of your sensor is incorrect, or if your Dr. iCoach software license is about to expire. While using your computer, your data will automatically sync every hour, but if you want to see the most recent data, click Statistics and it will display data up to the latest minute. You can click View More Details on any of the graph previews to look at your personal data by the minute, hour, day, and month. Click Previous to show earlier data, or Next for newer data. The same can be done for any of the other features of Dr. iCoach. You can navigate to them through the side menu. Dr. iCoach also provides 4 vision tests located under Self-Test on the main menu. The first 2 are visual acuity tests. The Amsler Grid test is a tool to detect damage to the macula, which is an area in the center of the retina in your eye. The Ishihara test is a color perception test. Let's start a visual acuity test as an example. Click on Self-Test, then either the Landholt-C or the Snellen test to begin. I'll be using the Snellen test in this example. Read the instructions for your specific test, then click Start. The size of the letters will adjust according to the user's distance from the screen. Moving closer to the screen will make the letters smaller, where moving farther from the screen will make the letters appear larger. You can review your test scores in the Statistics window. After testing both eyes, the program will give an estimated visual acuity score. However, this does not replace your eye exam, and we still recommend visiting your optometrist yearly. The Settings tab is where the user can make changes to the program. There is a Preferences tab, an Alert Settings tab, and the Configure screen. The user can go to the Configure screen at any time to verify if Dr. EyeCoach is performing at an optimal state. Let's go into a little more detail on those settings, starting with the Preferences tab. The first two settings under General Settings are Type of Computer and Type of Graph. Type of Computer mainly determines the range of available values for the minimum distance setting. Also, if the type of computer is set to laptop, the Dr. EyeCoach orientation function will be turned off. The Type of Graph setting changes the type of graph displayed under the Statistics page. Next are the Distance settings. Minimum distance changes the distance at which Dr. EyeCoach will alert the user that they are too close to the computer. If you feel that you are getting distance warnings too often, you can lower the camera sensitivity setting. Units of measurement simply changes whether Dr. EyeCoach will display distance values in inches or in centimeters. Lastly, the Restore Default Settings button will reset all Dr. EyeCoach settings to their initial values. Next is the Alert Settings tab, which mainly affects how the program handles warnings. As long as Activate Warning System is checked, Dr. EyeCoach will display warnings in the bottom right corner of your screen. Unchecking this will prevent the warnings from popping up. The Activate Blank Rest Screen option will black out the screen if the user ignores warnings for a full minute and during rest periods. The 20-20-20 rule reflects the common belief in ophthalmology that for every 20 minutes on a digital device, you should take a 20-second break and look at an object at least 20 feet away. Checking this box will enable a warning that pops up for every 20 minutes you are active on the computer, and a blank rest screen if that option is enabled. Application Lock will make the program ask for the override password to change any integral settings, and the option to exit the program from the taskbar will be disabled. This can also be used as a child lock for younger computer users. Lastly, the Change Password button can be used to change an existing override password. This is the configuration screen. The user can come back to this screen at any time to make sure the program is performing at an optimal level. Follow the instructions on the left and click the button near the bottom to progress through the screen. When you are finished checking all the functions, hit Finish, and the window will close and Dr. EyeCoach will continue monitoring. Lastly, we have the Account Information page. This displays the program version number, user license number, and subscription days remaining. The user can also click Check for Updates to see if there are any new versions available. That's the end of our tutorial. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to call our toll-free number at 877-393-7454 or email us at support@eyesforlives.com. Thank you for your interest in Dr. EyeCoach.